Welcome back, guys, with another episode. Young and chatty, Nev and Kaylah. Today's episode is going to be about the LGBTQ community.
And it goes a little something like...
LGBTQ community. We're just going to talk about, in our opinion, what's wrong and what's right. Meaning things that we've seen on social media, things that we have seen in person. Now, for me, I am not against the LGBTQ community. I am 100% for it because my dear best friend, she's a part of it.
Amen.
I knew she was gay before she did. Yeah, she had trouble.
I think everybody knew I liked girls before I did.
At first, no. At first, I was like, okay, she may have a chance. But after you had a little situation...
I just couldn't do it. It's just not in me.
No, because, like, okay, this is how I knew. I think it was sophomore year or junior year.
It was sophomore.
Okay, sophomore year, Kayla posted on her story that she was pansexual. I said, that's a damn lie. Because there's no way that she's interested in both genders.
Honestly, I honestly really did think I was like, because I thought about it, I was like, okay.
No, yeah, you thought.
No, look, here, this is my thought process.
Okay,
ready?
okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
So, I was like, okay, I know I like girls. That's for sure. But, like, what if I like boys, but I haven't found, like, the guy who really makes me like, yeah, I like you.
Okay, I can see that.
That was my thought process. But then the more I kept, like, just going on about my days, I was like, yeah, no, that's not it. That's not it.
How I knew, when you were dating the dark skin, and I was like, okay, like, at first you did seem a little, like, giddy, but that giddy kind of went away because, like, there was problems, I just thought, okay, maybe this isn't the right person for her. Maybe after this, she'll find the right boy for her, right? Then, after a while, once the other dark skin came into your life, the way that he acted around you, like, I knew he liked you. I knew he, and you knew he liked you.
I knew he liked me.
But it was just the way that you acted around him. I was like, oh yeah, she's uncomfortable. She's so uncomfortable. That's not it. I was like, yeah, she likes girls. Because there were times where, like, a girl would walk past you and you would, like, look at them a different way. And I was like...
yeah, bro. Girls are just something different. They're just so beautiful, I can't.
Don't get me wrong, girls are pretty. There'd be some
fun.
pretty girls, like, but, yeah.
But, like, okay, I will say this. Not every girl I look at, I think, like, oh, I want to be with her. No.
Oh, no.
I just think some girls are just fucking pretty.
Exactly. But, yeah, so... Alright, I'll bring this up. So there was a while ago where I came across a TikTok, maybe, and there was a drag queen teaching kids at an elementary school how to dance. And I honestly, okay, I think that, yes, some kids should know the difference between, like, gay, straight, and all that, all those things. Like, they need to know because, like, it's happening. Like, they're gonna see it. They're gonna be wondering, like, Mom, why is that boy dressed as a girl? Maybe not too young. They don't need to know at a young age. I would say maybe at an age where they will fully understand. Maybe when they reach middle school. Because once middle school happens, a lot of kids start finding their identity. I know when we were in middle school, it wasn't like that. It hit once we got in high school, but I know that a lot of kids nowadays, like now in this generation or their generation, they're starting to find their identity a little bit quicker. I don't know if it's because maybe they're being influenced from social media. I don't know if they're being influenced by what they see, like, at the store or like at the playground, like what they see in every day. I don't know, but my opinion on the drag queen dancing at an elementary school, those kids were eating it up. They didn't know. They don't know,
because they look like kindergarten.
That's what I'm saying. They look like babies. And I think I don't know if I'm correct, but in the video, the drag queen dropped it down. Yeah, and I was like,
even I was like, okay, you shouldn't have done that.
Especially in front of babies.
That wasn't the place for you to do all that.
Yeah. Another thing that I don't like again, like, you can for sure express how you are, like, if you're gay and if you want to go all out, go all out. But my thing is, if you're going to be in a place in front of children, don't put that extra stuff out. Like, I know one time I went to the store. I went to Stater Brothers one time, and I saw a gay guy. He was gay because he was wearing booty shorts, and he had a crop top on, but it was like a see-through crop top. And it was like a little group that they were in, and they were talking so loud about, you know, sex. And I'm like, I don't think a 5-year-old wants to hear about your head game.
Yeah, that's so weird. That's weird.
Like, okay, I think, okay, you could express yourself however you want, just like, as much as you want people to be, like, respectful to you about, like, who you are.
Be respectful to others.
Be respectful, yeah, be respectful to others as well, because it's both ways. And I feel like that's the main issue today, that a lot of, like, you know, the LGBTQ people, they feel like they're not being respected, but you see why. It's not all of them. It's some of them. They put themselves out there as these extravagant, like, they're putting it out there, like, and it's okay to put it out there, but sometimes they're putting a little bit too much out there.
Be proud of who you are,
of course,
but also when it's in public and you know there's certain people out there who you know don't approve of it, doesn't, you know, like it, limit some things.
No, for sure.
Especially like talking about sex, it's just like, okay,
that's a personal conversation that you need to have in closed doors.
Yeah, you
not
have
in
that
public
with your personal friends, your family, but not in public for everybody else to hear.
Exactly. And like, my thing is, like, with people who do not, like, approve of the LGBTQ community, that's okay. You could disapprove it all you want. Everybody has their opinions. But my thing is, don't talk about it in a disrespectful way. Mind your business.
Like with that, it's like, okay, if you don't like it, you don't agree with it, it goes against your religion, whatever, that's fine. Nobody's forcing you to like it.
For sure.
The only thing is just like, it's a respect thing. At the end of the day, they're still a human being. They still have feelings.
Exactly.
If you don't like it, don't think about it. Don't look at it.
Leave it alone. Like, you have your life, they have their life.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
But then it goes the same with, like, the community. Don't force people to like it. They don't have
they don't
to
have
like
to
it.
if they don't want to.
Nobody has to like what we do or who we are and stuff like
exactly.
that. And then it goes the same way. Respect it. Because, like, me personally, everybody knows I like girls, but I'm not going out there like, oh yeah, I like girls.
Yeah.
I'm not making it like my whole personality, you know?
Yeah. And there are people who do make it their whole personality, and it's okay to do that.
It's okay. I'm not saying, like, you know, hide who you are. No. Don't hide. Be open. But when I'm saying, like, make it your whole personality, I mean, it's just like, that's the first thing you bring up when you get to meet people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Or it's like, if you have, like, straight friends, like, for example, like me and you talk to me about boys, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear about that because I can't relate.
And it doesn't matter if you can't relate.
Like, it doesn't matter.
It's just what you're into, you know? I know for me, like, okay, I grew up in the church. I grew up with religion because my grandma, she's such a religious person. And I know for a fact that a lot of people in my church, they're against it. But most of the people in there just mind their business. It's like, okay, yes, it's happening in the world. You just have to accept it. There's no way of saying, okay, LGBTQ is banned, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, you know? There was a situation when I was in, you know, church one time. And I walked into church. This happened like maybe a year ago. There was two ladies. They were talking about a situation that they saw online. And basically what happened was a mother let her 15 or 16-year-old kid transition. Like, go through the whole surgery and everything like that. I get what they were saying. They were saying that it was, like, you know, wrong, because how does a kid know at that age? I agree, because how does a kid know at that age? 15, 16, you're not going to know. For sure, you know? Me, if I were a parent personally, I would accept the fact that my kid, if, like, hey, mom, I think I'm a boy, or I feel like I'm a boy. Hey, mom, I feel like I'm a girl. I think I'm into girls. I think I'm into boys. I'd be like, okay, that's perfectly fine. And then let's say, like, later down the line, they'd be like, hey, mom, I don't like how my body is. Can I change it? Me personally, I would have been like, I'm not going to invalidate how you feel, but I say wait until you figure it out fully.
Yeah,
Figure it out fully. Like, once you turn 18, do what you please. Like, if you get to 18 and you still feel that way, do what you please. I'll help you. But what if, like, you do it, like, what if she did it at 16, 15 years old? Now, what if years down the line, what if she's like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Why did I do this? Like, this is not what I wanted, you know? So a child doesn't really, really, really know. But the way that they were talking about it, how, like, the mom was a bad mom, and I was like, oh my God, like, that's not it. It's, the mom should have, like, explained, like, hey, let's wait a little bit. Let's figure some things out so we can make sure before we do this, because this is permanent, you know?
I don't think she's a bad mom. I think she was just really being supportive. She wanted what's best for her child to make her child happy.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do agree with what you said. Like, if I was a parent or a mom and my child was like, oh, I want to be a boy, I want to be a girl, do as you must. If you feel like that's not who you are, that's fine. But at the same time, don't physically change your body just yet. Because you have to dress how you want. I'll help you.
For sure.
Do as you must. You could change your name. You could change your pronouns, your clothes. But physically, no. Not until you're 18. Because you really, really, really have to sit and think with yourself. Do I really want this for myself?
For sure. That takes time.
Yeah.
That really does take time.
And it's not an easy thing to go through.
I see it, and it's not.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people.
An easy thing to go through.
There's a lot of people who like stories that I've seen on TikTok, stories that I've seen on Instagram, how, you know, it was a struggle coming out, how to struggle figuring out who they are. People like get like suicidal when it comes to that stuff, because some people feel like they're crazy. Yeah.
Especially like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's a scary thing to think about. It's just, you know, you're born a girl, but in your head, just physically, you were meant to be a boy. So it's kind of like some transgender people, they said it's just like they feel really trapped inside their body. And it's like a very like mental, I don't know, I think it's just more mentally than physically, because it's like, okay, not only do I feel trapped, I have to tell everybody I know that I want to completely change who I am. And in today's world, it is scary.
Like, because I feel like the reason why it's so scary now, because like now it's getting more hated on. It's getting more hated on, and I feel like that's what people make it feel like they're trapped. They know that people are gonna think it's wrong, so they feel like obligated to like keep it to themselves, and that's gonna make them feel like they're crazy. And it's like, no, if you're feeling a type of way, go to someone that you truly trust, that, you know, they would, you know, help support you and like emotionally, because you shouldn't keep anything like that to yourself. Because me personally, like, if I were ever in that situation, like, I would come to you like, hey dude, like, I don't feel right, I don't feel good, like there's something going on, you know. But yeah, I feel like a person should always, like, a person like that's a part of the LGBTQ community should always go to someone they trust, even if they don't feel comfortable. I know it's not right for everyone, but there is therapy. They can also go to therapy. I know therapy isn't for everyone, but it's just someone to talk to, you know, because I know a lot of people out there, they do have a lot of people that they trust, but it's like they're not ready to tell someone that they know. I feel like
it's just like, it's such a huge part, it becomes a huge part of your life. I know, like, for me, before I came out, like, obviously I knew, but the same with my family, they don't agree with it. No, for sure. So that made me feel like, okay, I have to like boys. If I don't want them to, like, you know, say anything to me, do anything to me, I have to like boys. And then it's kind of like that with like our friends and everything, because I was like, well, I love my friends, I don't want them to see me any different just because I like girls rather than boys. No, you know? For sure. No, yeah. Like I was saying before, like, yes, like, always have that person that you want to talk to, like, that you trust, but like, I know a lot of people don't like feel comfortable enough to do that. But if you tell a stranger, like a complete stranger, it's like you're telling a blank sheet. You're telling a blank sheet, and you're getting those feelings out, and you don't know what they're going to say or do. Exactly. But I mean, like, in therapy, like, they're supposed to like, hey, like, if you feel this way, blah 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 blah, you know. You know, I feel like another topic we should bring up is, like, I have nothing against churches. I personally believe in God and all that. Yeah, for sure. But I feel like with some religious people, just the way they go about it, it's just like, you're not making it easier, safe for them. You're not making it easier for them. Yeah. You don't have to agree. Nobody's forcing you. But at the end of the day, it's like that's your child. That's your, you know,
That's your
niece,
family.
your nephew.
That's your family. You don't have to like it, but just support it. You know? Dislike it from a distance.
Dislike it from a distance, exactly.
Dislike it from a distance. Like,
it doesn't have to, you know, you're going to hell.
we can even talk about it because religion has a big part of this. Because I know there's a lot of people who are a part of the LGBTQ who do believe in God. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to be in the church because they know for a fact they're going to get
because
judged.
they feel so unsafe there.
Exactly. And I know for me, like, when I'm in the church, I know that there's some people in my church who don't agree with it because, okay, there used to be this girl who used to go to my church, right? She used to dress up, you know, like a girl, you know, like she's a girl. Over time, she started finding her identity. I think she still goes by she and her. I think she's, you know, lesbian. She still goes by she and her. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But but from what I've seen, I think she still goes by she and her. And she came into the church, and she had like a buzz cut. She had, you know, men's clothes on, and I could see how people were judging her by looking at her. There were some people who went up to her, be like, "Hey, like, how you doing? How's everything going?" Like, you know, like that. Like, they're disagreeing from a distance, you know, because there's no need to bring that into church. When you're going into the church, you are there for God and God only. And
that's it.
That is it. You are not going to church to judge. Who are you to judge? The only person that can judge is God. That is it. That is it. I know in the Bible it says that you know, men are supposed to love women and women are supposed to love men. And then if they love the same sex, it is a sin. Okay. Yes, it's in the Bible, but my personal opinion, even though I am a Christian, my personal opinion is that God said, love whoever you want to love. He said, love thy neighbor. Love them.
Love is love at the end of the day.
Love is love at the end of the day.
You cannot control who you're going to love. It's just that. It's just that, you know, you can't control it. It's going to happen regardless of anything.
We are human. Attraction happens. Like, we can get attracted to anything, anyone, you know? And it's gonna happen. Like, we are human, you know? There's no way of stopping that. There's no way of stopping that.
It's just like, if a gay person goes to your church, they're there for God and God only. They're not there to be judged by you or anybody else. They don't need to hear the pastor preaching directly to them about how it's wrong. We know. Yeah. I promise we know. We hear it, we see it every day.
Yeah.
We know.
Girl, there was one time where, it was a long time ago, I was in church and I think one of the pastors brought it up and I made a look. I was like, why are we talking about this? Like, I know it's in the Bible. I get it. I understand it's a sin. But why are we talking about this? You know? Like, I feel like there's so many things that we could talk about that are so much important
other
than this.
Important things to talk about in church than somebody loving the same sex.
Yeah.
There's so many other
Again,
things.
I'm not against my religion, any religion. Like,
no,
I love
of course
me some
not.
Jesus.
I love hearing
the word.
I love hearing the word.
Like, I love me some Jesus.
I will sit down in any church in any given day.
I love it. It's just bring up the right topics.
Okay, like, it's like, besides my sexuality and all that, it's just, for me personally, church in general is not a safe place for me. And I think it's not because I don't believe it. No, I do. I love me some Jesus.
It's some people.
It's just, I think it's like the environment or the vibe that other people give. And it's just like, okay, I would much rather have my own personal walk with God than be in here.
And I feel like a lot of LGBTQ people do that nowadays because like they do feel unsafe. Not like physically unsafe, but like emotionally unsafe. Because you never know what a person's gonna say.
Like, I read the Bible. I know a lot of stuff about the Bible. I know it's in the Bible. And trust me, I have my own battles with that. Because I was like, damn, I'm going to hell. That's it.
Jesus. Oh, Lord.
That's it. But then once I really was just like, okay, let me sit with just me and God. That's all I need. Just me and God.
But yeah, that was basically our opinion about, you know, the LGBTQ community and other opinions as well. I know we went off on a tangent.
I will say that sexuality is very, very fluid. I will say that because there is a lot of stuff, like videos I've seen on TikTok, where just like a lot of lesbian women come out as bisexual women because they find out that they actually are attracted to guys, or they found an attraction to guys. There's a lot of bisexual women coming out as just straight lesbian.
Yeah.
Sexuality is very, very fluid. And either way, even if somebody were to change who they are, support it or don't support it, but don't judge them.
Disagree from a distance.
Disagree from a distance.
If you don't like it, okay, cool. Disagree from a distance, because if a person has came to terms with that's who they are and that's how they're gonna be, okay, it's okay. This is a new generation. I feel like the older people really need to understand, like, okay, time is evolving. Like, we are evolving. Our generation is, you know, it's
not gonna stay the same.
It's not. Like, they need to realize that their generation it's still there, but there's a new generation that's happening, and they need to just accept it, you know? What's it call it? When it comes to the LGBTQ community, just don't hide who you are. Be who you are. Take the time to figure out who you are. And it's okay to take that time. Don't feel pressured to
definitely
figure it out right then and there, because it's not.
It's not. Even if you do figure it out, every day you're still learning.
Exactly. If you feel trapped, try your best to
talk to someone about it.
Talk to someone about it, because
even if it's like anonymously online.
Exactly.
Anybody.
Because if you're gonna keep it to yourself, it's just gonna eat you up even more.
And we do not need any more higher suicide rates.
We don't, man. And, oh my god! And I think I was reading something about this. This was like last week. Yeah, it was last week. We were doing an assignment for my criminal justice class, and last week we were doing an assignment for my criminal justice class, and we were looking up like suicide rates or death rates, and the most like rates were LGBTQ and drugs. It was people who were doing drugs and LGBTQ people who were doing drugs, because like
it's
a battle.
It's a
battle.
It's a constant battle.
All right, well, that's all we have for this episode. I know it's kind of short, but thank you for listening. And just a reminder, every Friday we will be uploading an episode. Make sure to follow us on our social media. We have Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. The info will be in the description. And remember, guys,
stay young
and stay chatty.